What's going on, guys? I'm Jaye the Black. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in. I want to talk about Vivica Fox. She commented on Nick Cannon about him having his 10th child, right, by multiple different women. And she did not like it. Of course, you know, you can expect people to have criticisms on what Nick Cannon is doing. But she spoke about how he's a bad role model for black fathers, basically. And she talked about how young black boys basically need men to look up to, basically. You know, it's very interesting hearing somebody who was such a supporter of Roe v. Wade and other things. She heavily supports the DNC, a party that is looking to destroy black families and has been for quite some time. We'll talk about black fatherhood and how Nick Cannon is making it look bad. All you have to do is look no further than the people who are leaders, quote unquote, in the community, and you will see why it has steeply declined as far as families and fathers. The president of the United States right now, you know, helped put a bill into law that was locking up black fathers, black brothers, black sons. But we don't want to have that conversation, do we? We want to have a conversation about Nick Cannon. We want to talk about him having all these children, but we don't want to talk about the fact that these women are accepting of this. They are embracing being a baby mama because none of them are going to be his wife. Okay? So let's get into what Nick Cannon had to say. It's according to Euroweb. It says, Auntie Viv ain't down with Nick Cannon's speed spreading. I don't like it. Vivica Fox is letting it be known that she is not here for Nick Cannon's latest baby announcement. As we previously reported, the 41-year-old entertainer revealed last week that he's expecting his 10th child overall and third child with Brittany Bell. He shared their maternity photos on Instagram with the caption that read, "Time stopped and this happened, Miss Bell." During the latest episode of Cocktails with Queens, the actress and co-host weighed in on the big news and shared her thoughts, shared her honest feelings, saying that she simply does not like it. She said, "I don't like it. Y'all can be like, it's cause he got money, this, that, and the third. But the foundation of black families, especially a strong father figure, is needed. This isn't a good representation of it." In my opinion, co-host Claudia Jordan shared the same sentiments, saying Nick is a great guy, he's successful, and we go in on people like Future, and not to say that he's the same, but at the end of the day, he's so busy. Nick Cannon has an empire, so you do have time for all these. So do you have time for all these kids? Well, let me say this about. Let me say this about Vivica Fox and Claudia Jordan. First off, Claudia needs to get her life together. Okay, one minute she's with this dude, and the next minute she with this guy. Okay, Claudia needs to get her life together. But as far as Vivica Fox is concerned, you know, Vivica is somebody who I don't believe has any children, right? And she's still out there on the market, and she has like this feminist, hyper liberal mindset, and that's probably why she's single now. And what's funny is that there are reasons as to why black men of today don't have father figures. One, we don't have any programs anymore like we used to. We don't have any like Big Brother programs. We don't have any activities in these neighborhoods for these young black men to get mentorship. You have policies that were put into place that took black men out of the homes. But we don't want to dive deep into that. We just want to talk about the fact that, you know, Nick Cannon is having all these kids with all these women, but these women aren't complaining. And I will say this about Nick Cannon. If there's one man that I know that can be in his children's lives and make time for them, it's Nick Cannon. Listen, I'm not justifying him doing this. I think it's a horrible decision. But Nick Cannon has a lot of jobs. Nick Cannon is known for being a guy that will work a ton of jobs, will be in a bunch of different places. So maybe in his mind, he feels like he can do that, even though I'm not in support of this because you're creating single mother households. He may not want to admit, but that's what he's creating. He's creating single mother households. Let's be real about it. He's not marrying any of these women. And I would be very surprised if he did. But we have to get to the root of it. We have to get the root of it. Everybody wants to be upset at Nick Cannon, but they don't look at the fact that these women, I know one in particular didn't even have any children, decided to marry, that ain't happening, decided to have a child with Nick Cannon when they weren't even in a relationship. They weren't even in a relationship. Her value was higher before she had that child, because a lot of men out here don't want a woman with kids. Let's be real, especially if he's really successful. We all know these women love to chase famous men. A lot of these guys are not going to want to deal with a woman that has a child. And they have one with Nick Cannon, and they're perfectly okay with that, which is, this shows you where the mindset of these women are. Nobody wants to have the conversation that a lot of these women are mentally unstable. A lot of these women are addicted to social media and chasing famous men and being gold diggers. We just want to point the finger at Nick Cannon as if he's the problem. It takes two people to have a child, not one. And the fact that people like Vivica, they're so quick to talk about how Nick needs to do this and Nick needs to do that. What about the women lining up to do this? And by the way, this newest child is with the woman he already had kids with. So it wasn't like this was a new woman. This woman just doubled down and had another child with Nick Cannon. All right, let's see. So I can play some of this audio.
I don't like video. It. I mean, y'all can be like, well, he got money, this, that, and the third, but the foundation of Black families, especially a strong father figure, is needed.
Vivica, it has been needed, but y'all tend to not talk about why it's needed. A lot of these women are choosing the wrong type of men, but we don't want to have that conversation. A lot of these Black women are obsessed with dating dysfunctional men that they can control. And the reason why they have to be dysfunctional, because these women have this sick, weird need to be smarter than the man that she's with. Because if they're not smarter than him, if they're not more successful than him, then they don't want him. But again, we don't want to have this conversation. Because right now we're talking about a guy who is successful, who's having children with all these different women. But these women are accepting of this. They want to be a part of his harem. And you know what's crazy? It's not even a new thing. There are numerous women out here who are a part of harems. I have no trouble believing that Vivica, Claudia have been a part of harems before.
This isn't a good representation of it, in my opinion.
And we need to count who's married in this visual and who isn't married.
I'm going to go with you on this one. I think Nick Cannon's a great guy. I think he's successful. And the same, we go in on people like Future, and not to say that he's the same, but it's just at the end of the day, there are a lot of, I don't know how with his so busy, and Nick Cannon has an empire. He has an empire. So do you have time for all these kids? And not
just to be there to take pictures and it's cute. And oh my God, I'm at the birthday party. Children deserve a father figure, especially young boys. They need positive father figures, especially African-American, because they Black. And just providing a check. I've seen so many people that in the past have dated like athletes and gotten child support. What if he gets hurt? Things happen.
Yeah, I wish we get out of he has the.
Now, Vivica she's making sense. That's why I'm playing this, so y'all can see it in her own words. She's making sense there when she's saying that these young boys need fathers. Yes, they do. And I have said this plenty of times. This is why when women try to keep the children away from the fathers and they accept the money, is that the father's fault or that the mother's fault? Because there's a lot of women out here collecting child support, and they refuse to allow the fathers to be a part of those children's lives. And they do this for years, and then when the child gets older, then they're going to lie to the child and pretend like the father didn't want to be there because the fathers had enough of the games. So we need to have these conversations. Hopefully Cocktails with Queens is having this conversation about the real reason why these men are not in these young boys' lives. I don't think it has a lot to do with them just having a bunch of kids with a bunch of different women, even though those women allow it to happen. Because it ain't, listen, y'all got to understand, people. It ain't just a bunch of men just having, children with women without a relationship and creating single parent households. Single parent households are being created by a small group of men. There's plenty of stories of men. There's one story about a guy. Didn't he have like 30 kids or something like that? 20, 30 kids? One man, right? So, and by the way, they were about a bunch of different women. So we need to have these conversations about why all these women are getting impregnated by the same man. We got to have that conversation. These women are attracted to men who have multiple children, multiple different women, because they see that as attraction or being attractive to them. So therefore, there's attraction to men with multiple kids by multiple different women. How many of us know dudes that will have a bunch of baby mamas and then they'll start dating a woman that has no children and then end up having a kid with her? And people are warning her, listen, he ain't gonna wife you up. And they don't listen. They get with them anyway. So I know people want to look at this like it's Nick Cannon's fault, and he does deserve blame in this because he's purposely getting these women pregnant. But we can't ignore the fact that there are women accepting of this and embracing this. I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't know how long these women are going to go along with this. But in Nick Cannon's mind, they're going to, no matter what, because I believe Nick Cannon carefully chose the women that he ended up dealing with. I think he carefully picked the ones that he dealt with that he knew would put up with this.
Money, because it's way more than money.
Exactly.
Though he has,
we didn't say it was just the money. We totally said that he should have a relationship. Well, we said he should the relationship with his kids is most important. And let's be clear, if he was a man in the house with 10 kids with the same woman.
That. In case you're wondering, Auntie Viv hasn't had any contact with Jada Pinkett Smith since she criticized Jada after Will Smith's infamous Oscar slap. However, she apparently doesn't harbor any ill will towards her. Well, I guess that was it about that. But listen, I want y'all to understand something. Nick Cannon does deserve blame in this. He's purposely getting these women pregnant. He's doing that because, that's something, I heard it was a medical issue. That's what all these excuses was. I'm like, nah, this guy is purposely doing this. I'm not going to let him off the hook. He's purposely getting these women pregnant for whatever reason. And he should get criticized for that. I have been critical of him. I think it's stupid. I think it's absolutely stupid. But that's what he chose to do. But I don't think he's the only one at fault here. What about all these women choosing to have children with him? Yes, he has a lot of money. The dude works hard. And I also think because Nick Cannon is in the industry, he can provide a lot of opportunities to those women. So I think those women are playing chess, not checkers. Some of them are playing chess and not checkers. And they're out here dealing with Nick Cannon, knowing full well that he has other women that he is dealing with. But speaking to what I said as far as Vivica Fox is concerned, we do need to have a deeper conversation about father figures and fatherhood and the decline of it in the black community. We need to have those conversations because I think those conversations are to be had. So let us know in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to the Patreon. See you on the next one.